It is time to introduce our guest. Claudia Black is almost sci-fi royalty in many aspects. She's currently on CW's The Containment, though she has experience on Stargate SG-1 and Farscape, and I believe we have a clip from a future episode of The Containment. Let's roll it.
Rationing by its very nature makes people even hungrier. Hunger creates chaos.
You want to talk about chaos? Drop that much food into a quarantine zone without preparation.
Are you familiar with what went on in Sierra Leone?
I know a lot of people died.
They did. And I was part of the effort to keep people from dying. And we had a lot of good, smart people working that problem, but in a few key moments, we waited. We were too cautious. There was red tape everywhere. I don't want that to happen here, and I don't want it to happen to your city, not on my watch. So cheer up, Major. You're getting food to your people tomorrow.
Ow! And then they literally had sex.
Yeah.
That's how that clip would end.
No, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, Claudia Black!
I'm dying that that's the clip you showed. Dying.
And a long clip. I was like, wow, we got the
I know.
episode. That's great.
She doesn't. She doesn't stop talking. It's just it
Well,
goes.
there's nothing
on
wrong
and
with
on.
that. When you have like a big role in a show like that, you might as well like flaunt it. You're like, I got multiple lines.
Right. You know. I got hair. I got lines.
So I got to ask you.
Yes.
You've been in 2 shows now.
Yes.
Where you either live or are from the city of Atlantis. So I got to ask, is there a city of Atlantis and is there a Sandals? Because I really want to know.
Is there a what?
A Sandals resort.
In Atlantis.
This was all a poor joke that I think didn't hit. So.
I don't know what's going on
Don't worry.
at all.
Neither do we, so it's all right. How are you doing? I was saying that
really
you've been on 2
scared
shows.
right now.
You've been on 2 shows
Yeah.
where your characters either live or from Atlantis.
Right.
So I was asking if
Oh
there's.
no, we're doing this again, just in case. Now I'm terrified. Let's do it really slowly so it's really obvious that I still aren't getting the joke.
Plus, I love beaches.
Me too.
Two.
The movie with the 2 women
Yeah.
who love each other so much.
and they're
there's a
singing on the
wind
beach.
beneath
Yeah.
each other's wings.
Yeah. How are you?
I've had a weird month. How about
So
you?
have I've had a weird
Yes?
life, so I'm glad
You
we're finally
have?
talking. Why was it weird?
You know, I never used to pay much attention to this, and I have played a lot of people from outer space. So when people talk about astrology and stuff that happens out there, I'm like, you know, I'm the daughter of a scientist and whatever. But every time Mercury goes into retrograde, which apparently 5 planets currently in retrograde, my life turns inside out and upside down
Yeah.
in every possible way.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
feel more upset the fact that there are 5 planets in retrograde and Mercury gets the credit for it.
Right, you know, I mean,
very
usually
upsetting.
it's such a diva, but now there's quite a few, like Mars and all these other planets.
Yeah, so what's going on? I mean, you're on the CW's The Containment, which is a great show.
It is, and we just got the news that even though it's a limited series event, it will not be picked up for another.
No.
Yes.
Well,
But
they can go fuck themselves.
on something blunt and large. No, I have a lot of.
So wait, let's go.
They want to sit with. Do you want to stay with sandals and Atlantis? Or do you wanna-
I know, seriously, I'm going to wake up and going, why did I say that joke?
Wow, I'm just gonna go and check my IQ again because I think it dropped.
Just
and I'm
Google
feeling-
sandals, they got some great deals. All honesty, though, that's
Yeah.
awful.
Well,
It's on the CW, right?
yes, and we no love lost with CW or WB. They have been amazing, and I felt personally spoilt rotten. I mean, they would actually put lights on when they took photos of us for publicity, and that's you know, that's a big deal for me. In Australia, they're so cheap on a lot of the productions that you know you do your own stunts, not because you're physically adept. It's because they're too cheap to hire stunt doubles. But it was pretty funny, actually, when we heard the news. I was out helping some dear friends of mine in the desert, and
burying bodies. What else are you doing in the
I
desert?
think they wanted to kill me by the end because I had made this sort of why I did it was kind of like everything slowed down and I said, I will cater for you. And when the phone rang, well, actually there'd been a lot happening that day. I got some other bad news. We didn't have very good cell coverage anyway that day, and of course the only two calls that come through are to make sure that I hear that my life is just kind of, you know, the floor's fallen out from underneath. So I'm bringing this damn chicken that is par cooked to Joshua Tree with this other sweet guy who's sitting in the RV, and this woman who's a highly accomplished individual and overqualified to be driving is driving the RV. And I'm sitting on a set of lights kind of like this, and then the chicken slides off the table and all the sauce goes everywhere. And I'm doing sort of this, and then the phone rings and I answer, and it's my gorgeous co-star David Jesse, and I'm sort of, I can't maintain the position, but I'm trying.
It's all right. Own
And
your
he's
space.
like this.
Own your space.
I got it. I'm ready. And I sort of pick up the phone and I hear, Claudia Black, I want to tell you that it has been an absolute pleasure working with you every single moment. I'm like, wow, and he's going for it. It's a monologue, and the chicken's sliding off the table in the RV, and the sauce is going everywhere. But it was a weird bit of news because we weren't expecting it, I don't think, for another week or so. And then I think you have a contract and they have a certain date by which they have to.
Mm-hmm. Now, you were also telling me that the upsetting part about it was you guys have filmed the entire season.
Yes, and it will be aired.
And it will be aired, but a lot of fans, when they saw the cancellation notice, went, oh no, the show's done forever.
Right, but it's an amazing time to be making content. So there's probably still quite a few places that might
Netflix
pick it up. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, all those places.
Nice.
And yeah.
Well, it's gonna be fine.
I'll just keep filming it in my garage because
Hey, welcome to After Dark.
Nicely done, sir.
Let's go back real quick.
Excellent.
So first,
to sandals and
to
Atlantis,
sandals.
or
No.
just
call back though. It's the third time we
third
can't
time.
do that
I won't
anymore.
do it again. I promise. I know.
So Australia.
Yes.
You're from there originally.
Originally.
And then you've also filmed Farscape in Australia, correct?
I did,
And
yes.
what was that like?
Well, cheap, as I said, cheap. So there were all these people it was a very ambitious production. The Jim Henson Company, who created the Muppets, amazing, genius group of people, wanted to do fast turnaround but high quality, high production value content. So we had this overly ambitious schedule with these people who were in, at a minimum 4-hour makeup. So, because in Australia you don't have the same union laws, actors didn't need to have a turnaround. So they would just roll these actors in every day. At first it was May Conway, and then they realized we were all going to have accidents because they moved us out to somewhere really far away from the city. So they would at least transport us. So we would just kind of not bother changing and just go to sleep. And then as soon as the car beeped outside, we'd just go out into the car and fall asleep again or learn our lines and go back to work. But it was really amazing. I have really fond memories. There were days where we would be out on the sand dunes and fanging around, that's an Australian technical term for going very fast, on these dune buggies that were like Mad Max things, and they'd have all these live explosions, and we had this amazing pyrotechnic team who were so excited by the gig because we didn't really have things of that scale at that time in TV. And so at the end of the season, the pyrotechnic guys were just like, we've had a really great year and we've organised a surprise for you guys. So come outside. And so we all came outside, and we were on this jetty at Homebush where they had the Olympics, and it's a swamp. It's really disgusting out there. But they'd made these fireworks for us and made a firework display, and these are the guys that actually help out on the Sydney Harbour Bridge on New Year's Eve, and they're really famous fireworks.
Awesome.
And I was like, oh my God, can I light one? And they said, yes. And I said, what do I do? And they said, you light it and then you run like fuck, Claude. And it was pretty brilliant. I mean, they let you get away with all sorts of stuff in Australia. They don't sort of mollycoddle the actors, which is great. You get a lot of freedom.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I got to ask, with Farscape, with Stargate SG-1, you've kind of developed this following for, your resume of sci-fi work.
Yeah, hang on. How come I'm almost sci-fi royalty? Because I was just sitting there and I heard...
Listening?
Yeah.
Well, it's I think sort of sci-fi royalty is actually more, because if you're so far in it, you're like, what's that person's problem, you know?
Right. Yeah. What I want to know is who is sci-fi royalty, if I'm
I consider Mark Hamill or...
Jeez, okay, fine. Sure.
Well, you are sci-fi royalty. I mean, you've developed such a huge following, especially among a lot of fans who like, the one thing I think about, especially sci-fi, the content, is that with the invention of the internet, obviously, and streaming everything, your stuff lives forever.
Yes.
But sci-fi has a unique cult following that I feel like a lot of other genres don't have. I feel like horror has it also, but sci-fi, it's like the fans are super fans.
Yeah, and we're really lucky because we get, it's a really high IQ. The intelligence of our fan base is extraordinary. And I'm just really lucky, I guess, because I got to play these really interesting women, and I'm not, the white picket fence, girl next door type. I actually do look quite alien. I remember speaking to this woman who was a medium once, and she said, "You know how you've always felt like you're an alien in human form?" And I was like, yes. Yes, I have. So that's because you actually are an alien in human form. I was like, oh my God, I knew it. But I was watching, I think it was Linda Hamilton on Terminator 2 and Sigourney Weaver and Aliens. And I was sitting there in the audience, and my parents were like, what are we going to do with Claude? Like, I was a major loser, and they were so worried about me and, what I was going to do with my life. And I looked up at the screen and I saw these chicks, and I was like, well, I can do that.
Yeah.
And it happened, and it's just amazing that in science fiction they let women... it's like that joke that Jon Stewart always used to make. You're watching a film that's set in the future when there's a black president. So now that's actually happened. It'll be, it's a film set in the future when there's a female president. And for me, it was like, well, it's probably science fiction and set in the future if the women are strong and taking roles in leadership. So I've been lucky to, have these really great roles to play and be my true self as an alien, obviously, as well.
Nice. Are there any of those other kind of roles coming up? Any new projects on the horizon?
Oh my God, well, I only just got fired. Let's see.
I'm just talking about the rebound,
I'll let you know. What's that?
Gotta get back on your feet.
Right.
Someone once told me that if you want to like move on from something, or like break like a depression or a spell or something, you just have to yell it out as loud as possible.
Oh yeah.
Or in our cases, as medium as possible, not to blow our speakers, but say something, say I don't want this to be anymore.
Okay.
Do you want to do it right now?
Sure.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Sure. Why is pasta so delicious?
That was rubbish. Are you not going to shout it?
Why is pasta so delicious?
Why the fuck does this shit keep happening to me? Done?
It's gone.
Really?
It's gone.
Oh, I have so much more in the tank.
You're cured.
I'm going to go and do it in the bathroom. This is fun. I apologize if that's all you hear from now on. It's just me in the bathroom. Pasta really is delicious!
It's so good, and it's always served in such big portions. It's so upsetting.
Well, when it's gluten-free, I think it's better for you.
That's true.
Yeah.
You brought some straws with you?
I did.
Jagan? Jagan's our talent producer, everyone. Okay, so now what is this all about?
So, I've been thinking about what I can do if I'm not acting. And the answer came back quite clearly, nothing. That's why I made sure I was a really bad waitress, so that the acting had to happen for me. But the one thing I learned how to do when I was a teenager, I think it was A.D. Phillips who taught me this on a holiday somewhere. He's thanks to In-N-Out, or what my friend calls a little something something. It's one of the best things ever, finding out that there was this secret menu.
I know, it's really amazing. Yeah. I also love how people think there's more to the secret menu. There's
I know.
like 6 items, but people are like, no, seriously, if you go in the back and pay someone, there's a lot more.
So it's just like LA with like clubs and everything. You just need to know a higher person than we know, and then suddenly there's a whole other world that opens up to you. All right, so I would just sort of, soften up your instrument. First time for everything. All right, so have you ever played a wind instrument?
I played a trumpet, which isn't a wind instrument, right? Is it a wind instrument?
Yeah.
Kind of is.
Is it? It is, right?
It is.
So, yes, it requires
It is, there we are.
Yes. Yes. Let's ask the experts. So, you need a flute embouchure for this, which
Okay.
means technically if you put your finger underneath and you bring your top lip over, you're trying to blow in a straight line
Okay.
onto the straw. To do this.
I'm gonna let you know.
I'm going to be okay.
Neither
right?
Cash and I are even gonna come close to that. Wow.
She's in the band.
I know she's in the band.
Thanks, Maureen. Yes.
You try it. You go.
No, you go first.
Okay. So containment is going to end up on a streaming service. We know that's going to happen.
Or we'll shoot it in my or your garage.
Perfect. Well, you're at my garage, so this is where it's going to be shot.
Right. We already have the resources.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to go home and look up what sandals is.
Yes.
And I'm going to learn never to make a joke like that ever again.
Oh my God, I feel so bad.
Don't worry about it. I feel bad. I'm such an amateur.
God.
But when you find out, will you like totally, when all the good news comes that containment's back on?
Oh, I thought you were like when you find out that you can say when you work
find
out what the joke means. When you text me and say, got it.
But please do that also.
Okay.
But when the show comes back, will you come back onto the show?
Yes, I would love to.
Perfect.
And I would love to join this band.
Perfect.
Come hang with Maureen in the Mercury 5.
Nice.
I can actually do this with the song Groove is in the Heart, same time, same pitch. That's where the whistle comes from.
Can you give us the beat?
Oh, God.
Ready?
Yeah.
Groove is in the heart.
Claudia Black! Thank you for watching After Dark with Julian Clark. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com, After Dark Comedy, and follow us on all our social media handles. I'm Julian Clark. Another round of applause, Claudia Black! Yeah! Marine in the Mercury 5! For After Dark, good night!
I don't remember when I dreamed you were the one. I don't remember our goodbyes. I thought my bed was much too big, but I was wrong. Like Goldilocks, it just feels right. I don't remember why.